vertical lines of light inside those plumes. Those are shockwaves, and that's how this truck gets its name. He's moving on out. There goes Trent in the support car, and here comes Kent. You're going to feel the heat as he lights up the afterburners on Shockwave.
Some pictures of it shooting.
Those three jet engines generate an equivalent horsepower of 36,000 horsepower. And for you gearheads here, that's 88,000 cubic inches of equivalent resistance. Around you folks down there to the right. Oh my, look at those flames. He's dumping raw fuel into the afterburners.
I smell the fire.
It's an old expression in hot rodding that there's no substitute for cubic inches. Well, 88,000 cubic inches, that's a lot. We often say there's no substitute for horsepower. And 36,000 horsepower in a 7,000-pound truck is a good ratio there. In fact, if it were climbing vertical, it would be about 3 times the force of gravity blasting off and heading on up with this power-to-weight ratio. Les Shockley is a 3-time national jet car champion and Canadian jet car champion. With Shockwave, he was the first to break the 5-second barrier for the quarter mile. The quarter mile Shockwave gets there in a little over 7 seconds. His speed's in the mid-200s, about 250, 260 miles an hour. Today, however, he's not limited to a quarter mile. If he lets that burn for about 8 seconds, it easily exceeds 300 miles an hour from a standing start in just 8 seconds. From brake release. He's taxiing out onto the runway at this time. Actually, he's driving out onto the runway. And by the way, if you'd like Les Shockley to build you one of these so that you can drive down to the supermarket in spectacular fashion, it's just a cool $500,000, and he'll be happy to build you one for about $500,000. And oh, by the way, as far as fuel economy, this probably has to pay the gas guzzler tax. Because in this short run down the runway, he's going to be burning some 120 gallons of diesel fuel. Kent Shockley, Les's son, at the wheel. He's going to be pulling out onto the runway in just a moment. Incidentally, at the conclusion of his run, once he shuts off the jets at over 300 miles an hour, instead of jumping on the binders right away and wearing out his brakes in fine fashion, he's going to deploy 2 16-foot parachutes that'll help slow him down. On the other side of the machine is another set of 16-foot parachutes as reserve chutes, just in case there's a problem. Because he's got to get that thing stopped in the available runway here. And at 300 miles an hour, that's a task. But after they are through with that, Trent Faulkner is going to hook up a tow strap and take them back to the parking area, which is down at the west end. We were talking about the B-25 being down there. Well, just beyond the B-25 is where this truck will be parked. You'll get a chance to see it up close and personal. Buy some souvenirs about Shockwave. Stand by. Don't want to miss it. Here we go. Full power on. 150, 200, 250, 275, 305 miles an hour in the Shockwave, the world's fastest truck.
Pretty fast, wasn't it? Now,
That's not one where you drop your hand, reach down and pick it up, because by the time you do, he's gone.